Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Satnam, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. I am really excited today to go over the astrology for the full moon in Gemini, which is happening in just a couple of days. Usually on Monday nights, I do the weekly astrology, but since we're having a full moon in 2 days, we're going to do the astrology of that full moon. And I'm also going to do the human design chart reading, but I'll do that tomorrow at some point during the day. So it's going to be at a very different time than normal, but be on the lookout for that. If you're able to watch live, that would be amazing. All right. So let's say hi to everybody that's in the chat. Hello, Maria. Welcome in. Hello, Sunny. Welcome in. You were watching a show in the History Channel talking about the Pleiades star system and how it might be the place where humans come from. Nice. Raessa, welcome in. Veronica, welcome. And April, thanks for saying hi in the chat. And if you haven't said hi in the chat, then definitely say hi so I can say hi back. Hello, Belinda. How are you? So good to see you. I just now realized that you sent me a message the other day and I didn't respond. I'm so sorry. It's been insane. So, I know why. Because yesterday I was still traveling back. I went to Albuquerque, and when I saw your message, not that I need an excuse, but when I saw your message, I was like, I'm gonna get back to her later. And when I saw your name right now, I was like, wait, didn't she message me? So apologize for that, but so good to see you. I'll respond as soon as possible. Hello, Lisa. Welcome in. Misty is also here. Grand evening. I love that you're here live as well. And Taria is here also. This is going to be a fun astrology reading. I mean, always Gemini moons are going to be fun and exciting and kind of all over the place, which is totally my jam. But before we dive into the astrology, I do want to invite you guys to please subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit the notification bell and make sure that you get notified of when I go live and when I upload videos. And I usually go live. So that's your best bet, is to come and watch this channel live, and that's where the most fun interaction actually goes down. Also, I will invite you to please download my free moon astrology guide, which will tell you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. And then it also enters you into my email list, which then sends you a weekly moon magic report that I write. This is so funny. And it goes in your inbox every Wednesday, and it gives you the astrology, the horoscope for the week ahead. And I usually get a lot of amazing feedback about that report, because it's really nice to know what's coming up and how to plan your week, or at least to be aware of the astrological energies that may be influencing your mental activity, your emotional activity, your physical sensations, all of that. Hello, Maricela, welcome in. So that is what is exciting. I ran a reading sale through yesterday, but I haven't actually taken it down yet, because that's how crazy I need to catch up with everything. So if you want to sneak in a reading for Atlantean astrology, or a Starseed reading, or an Akashic record reading, they're still on sale. I'm going to actually turn it off after this broadcast. So you have about an hour to sign up for one of the readings at the sale price. Otherwise, it'll officially be closed in an hour. So yes, I've been trying to catch up with everything. I definitely feel full moon energy coming. I was, this weekend, I went to visit my new puppies that are going to be coming home with us this coming weekend. So I've been on puppy mind, trying to make sure I have all their food, their toys, their bed, their crates, their freaking this, their that, all of it, their vitamins, their probiotics. I mean, I just went into mom mode. So I'm really excited to pick them up next week. Dawn and I will be picking them up, and yeah, it's like new life. I also started a new Instagram account for them, and so you can follow an Instagram and a TikTok. So depending on which app you're on, and if you're on both, you can follow them both. It's at Horus and Mintica. I can't believe I'm announcing it. It's so funny. Horus is the name of the boy dog, and Mintica is the name of the girl dog. And I'm going to be telling their story. Yeah, they have their social media, so follow them on social media. But I'm going to be telling their story and all that stuff, and where their names come from, and it's going to be really fun. So I've never done that before, and to have them from being puppies just feels like the right kind of transition. And I always love following dog accounts. Yeah, so you'll get to see the life of Horus and Mintica on their Instagram and TikTok. Also follow me at Channel for Grace on Instagram and TikTok. And there's exciting news coming up for the new year. I'm going to be releasing out a new platform for everyone. Everyone is welcome. It's going to be free to join the platform. And if you want to get access to the membership, there'll be a subscription. If you want to get access to my online courses, the Moon Goddess training, my astrology courses, my astrology modules, it's all going to be in there in one place, and we'll be able to communicate with each other. You guys can connect with each other. One of the things that I am really working towards as an intention for 2023 is community, is building community. And this new platform is going to bring it all together into one place, which makes it the most amazing and convenient thing ever for me. I've been actually wanting something like this, wanted to start my own app and stuff like that. But that hasn't happened because that's so expensive, to run your own app and to have it do all these things that you want it to do. And so this new program does have an app version that you can have on your phone. It sends push notifications and all that stuff. I can also live stream from my phone or from my computer, just like this. So it'll be really freaking cool to have a place where we can all communicate with each other. You can build your own profile in there, like put your picture and your name and all that stuff and your links if you want to like connect business-wise with some of the other community members. And it's going to be really fun to be able to have access to that and to have a space to hold that growth that I am setting a really powerful intention of for 2023. So let's dive into the astrology of this moon. I am going to share the screen, and that platform that I was just talking about is going to be coming on for the new year. It'll be ready. And for if you're going to be signing up for the Moon Goddess Training level 1, 2, or 3, or all of them for 2023, you will have basically access to it before everybody else joins the community itself, because I'm going to be uploading the courses onto there, and that'll be the first thing that is on there. So here we are. This is the chart for the moment. I'm going to fast forward to the full moon, which is happening in Gemini on December 7th at 16 degrees and I believe 2 minutes. We'll just get it exact right there. 1 minute. 16:01. I'm going to take a picture of that, and then we can talk all about it. Is anyone that is here watching live new to one of these broadcasts? If you are, this is also a great opportunity for you to learn astrology, to learn some of the terms, some of the planets, all that stuff. It's just kind of jam-packed. My broadcasts are just jam-packed with a lot of information. So, and I'm a natural teacher. I'm a projector in human design. So I'm a natural teacher and a guide. And so it's one of my passions. I'm a mental projector. I'm very mental. I'm just kidding. But I am able to really like hand off a lot of information. So here we go. Did I say hi to you, Sunny? I don't know if I did, but if I didn't, hello and welcome in. So where's this moon happening? All right, here we go. We got the moon at 16, and guess who is with it? Mars retrograde. That's very significant. On the other end of the spectrum, which is how we know it's a full moon because the sun and the moon are opposing, we've got the sun at 16 degrees. Hello, Carmelola. Welcome in. This is the official full moon energy. There's other important things to look at, but we're going to focus on this, and I'm going to sprinkle in some more information. Oh, thank you, Misty. I appreciate that. So sun and moon are opposing, exactly opposing. This makes it a full moon. Like I mentioned, the moon is happening at 16 degrees and 1 minute of Gemini. It is making a conjunction to Mars, and some of the powerful frequency of this moon, or that's happening during this moon, is that you have over here Venus at 27 degrees. She's literally on what we call the galactic center. So let me write that down over here because we want to go cosmic right about now. All right. Venus on the galactic center. The sun only 2 degrees away from what we call the great attractor. It's going to have, I feel like it's happening right now. Let me just double check real quick. This conjunction tomorrow. So the day right before, actually in just a couple hours, it's going to be entering into 14 degrees, which is exactly where the great attractor is. So this energy is still there during this full moon because it's only 2 degrees away. At 16 degrees on the other side of the spectrum, both the moon and Mars are on a star called Rigel, which is on the Orion constellation. And that is why this is officially an Orion Starseed portal with energies activating the galactic center as well as the great attractor. And I would say that this is plenty of us to dive into and to talk about. So we'll start right there. In general, a full moon in Gemini, because full moons activate our frequency, or in other words, they heighten the emotional energy. Full moons can be moments where everything feels heightened. Our emotions, our thoughts, our actions. It feels like there's a frequency and energy that are sort of pushing us forward and exciting us, It's like the wolf howls at the moon, or the coyotes howl at the full moon, and it kind of feels like there's a lot going on. And so some of us literally feel crazy during full moons, right? During full moons, and this is proven, this is something that's proven. They're like, hospitals are busier, the cops are busier, more calls to the police happen, more just intense events in the collective. And so that's one of the ways that you can sort of, if you're someone who asks yourself, is astrology really an influence? Well, it is. And that's one of the things that you can look towards to understand that, is that whenever there's full moons, everything is heightened. And so you may feel more emotional, more intense, maybe a little bit crazy, just a little bit like sensitive, extra sensitive, things like that. And because the moon represents the emotions, this is why the emotional realm is the one that's affected the most. But when you have a moon conjunct a planet, especially when it's a full moon and they're exactly at the same degree, this gives us a lot of information. And this is the first thing that I'll say. Moon in Gemini has a lot to do with how we communicate, with how we express ourselves, with whether we speak our truth or not, or we hold back our truth, with who we communicate with, it's lunacy, exactly. It's who we give our attention to. It's all of those things that have to do with connecting to someone else. Sharing information is really important. And it also has to do with our curiosity. We tend to get very curious with Gemini influence. And we have Mars right here. And Mars is the planet of drive and action. He's retrograde though. And that adds a lot of meaning to this. So you may feel that you have emotions or thoughts or things that you want to express, but Mars, being exactly conjunct, is asking you to actually slow down, hold back a little bit. Don't just jump to conclusions. Don't just jump to action because you have an impulse. Because Mars is very impulsive. But he's saying, don't jump to conclusions. Take a moment to reflect. Is this the right thing to say? Is this the right action to take? Right? Babies and craziness increases. Love the full moon energy myself. Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely a fun energy, right? And so Mars being retrograde here is actually asking us to slow down. And especially when it comes to how we're thinking, how much we're thinking, how much we're processing. So the full moon is it's called one of the luminaries in astrology. The sun is the big luminary and the moon is sort of like the secondary luminary. The sun is the actual light that shines on us, and it's almost like a huge spotlight. And it wherever it is, it's like a big deal, right? We have these seasons called Aries season, Taurus season. Right now we're in Sagittarius season. So we have these seasons that are very sort of this very outward expression, like almost like a personality. You would notice a personality in someone because that's how they are. It's how they act. It's what I can see and what I can interact with in that sense. And then we have the second luminary, which is the moon. And the moon is a different type of luminary. When the moon is full, it is like a mirror. It's reflecting, it's giving us light, But the light isn't coming from the moon. The light is coming from the sun. And that's how you can tell it's a full moon, because the moon and the sun and the moon are opposite. The moon is like across the sun, and so the light of the sun is shining directly on the moon, so all of it is full. All of it, you can see the whole thing because it's like a spotlight on it. And then what the moon does is reflect that light onto the earth or onto the sun itself. In the sort of symbology of that, what it has to do with is basically a mirror. The moon is like a mirror reflecting to you what is important for you to see in this moment. And so during any kind of moon transit, specifically that of a new or a full moon, you are really seeing into the mirror of yourself. That's the symbolism of it. It's like the mirror that shows you more about yourself, that helps you to find more self-awareness, which is one of the most important things about astrology, learning our astrology. So when you have this energy here together, on top of it, on an Orion portal, on a star called Rigel, which is, I think, the brightest star in the Orion constellation, you have a lot of starseed energy that is coming in, a lot of information that's coming in, but that is asking us to reflect instead of just fully taking action. Take it as an opportunity to really contemplate. Yes, that's the best word that I can use, is to contemplate and to really think about where you want to put the information, how you want to relay it, how you want to communicate it, what you want to say, how you want to say it. All of those things are really important. So what I want to do now is to dive into what is the Orion energy, because the Orion starseeds are playing a huge part, the most important part of this moon, activating this frequency. Now, the Orion starseeds are connected to knowledge of information that comes from what Matthias de Stefano calls the ninth dimension. The Orions were actually these beings, one of the star beings that helped seed life on Earth and kind of oversee the whole process of the evolution of the planet and the human race. And the Orions are the protectors of the ninth dimension, which is basically the Akashic of the universe. It's one of the places where we can connect to the Akashic of the universe. And there's 3 huge stargates that connect us with Akashic energy. And it's the Orion constellation, it's the Great Attractor, and it's the Galactic Center. And guess what? All 3 of those are literally activated for this full moon, starting with the moon and Mars on Rigel, which is Orion, the ninth dimension, the sun on the Great Attractor, and then Venus at the Galactic Center. So the Orion starseeds hold and protect the Akashic of the universe via the ninth dimension, which, as I mentioned, according to Matthias de Stefano, is where the universe began. It's the point. The Orion constellation, he says, is a map that when you follow the spiral, it's not one of the stars doesn't point directly to it. It's a spiral that you follow that eventually lands at a point that points directly to the ninth dimension, which is the direction of which the universe started. Hello, Bora Bora, welcome in. Hello, Don, welcome in. So that's the power of this specific energy, is the Orion starseeds teach us to remember, to understand duality also. Have you heard of anything called the Orion Wars? I mean, war has been a part of history of the universe for a long time. And here on Earth, according to many, many sources, we are here to end the war. We are here to recognize our similarities, to recognize how we are the same, how we are the same even though we look different. And that is to do with when you connect at a soul level, from a higher perspective, at a divine level, we are all one. We are all energy. And that's what Orion teaches us. And so this is a very intellectual energy, but it is full of information. When you can tap into Orion energy, you are communicating and receiving messages from these galactic portals, in a sense. It's like the key opens up, or the door opens up, and there's this sort of wormhole. There's a wormhole, and you're moving through the wormhole. I did title this video Wormholes and Miracles, and you'll see why in a moment. This is going to be a long video. Anyways, okay, one thing at a time though. Orion energy is the most potent energy of this full moon. If you have any Gemini, anything at 16 degrees, my sun is very, very close, basically conjunct to this frequency. I am like a huge Orion starseed. My rising sign is at 18 degrees of Gemini. My sun is at 13 degrees of Gemini, and I have a lot of Gemini energy in my 12th house. So if you have, go Orion energy. These markings in Gemini, you are an Orion starseed, and that's something that you can find out when you do a starseed reading with me, right? Which, like I said, for the next hour, it's on sale, and then it'll turn off. So go check it out right now. Anyways, this is a powerful frequency that will activate all Gemini energy, but it goes beyond. It goes beyond this just Gemini in the natural sense, or in the traditional sense of astrology. It goes beyond it. The starseed markings, the stargates, it is when we look at tropical astrology, we are looking at this energy of the planets and the signs and the psychology of it and the influence of it in terms of behavior and experience. But when you connect to the stargates, the starseed energies or the starseed markings, you are connecting to the actual fixed stars, which is actual sidereal astrology, which takes into account where the stars are right now. These markings slightly move as the star moves 1 to 2 degrees every 72 years. So they just gently move, very slowly move, but they do move. And we move their locations in the tropical chart based on their movement. So this is actual where it is on this powerful Orion energy. Okay, that's in one way. So Orion energy here, and because the moon has to do with heightened intuition, heightened senses, and if you are Gemini or have Gemini energy, you will feel this influence. You will feel sort of the opening of that portal to knowledge of information, because that is what the Orions want, is to give us knowledge and information so that we can continue to remember who we are and find the balance within a duality, or the surrendering to the nature of our earth here. On the opposite end of the spectrum, you've got the sun, and the sun is on the Great Attractor. The Great Attractor is a galactic anomaly and an immense concentration of energy and mass. It's also known as the Creator's voice and the seat of universal source. It gives the ability to access the Akashic library of light and channel multidimensional intergalactic consciousness. I mean, this is literally the craziest placement for a full moon that I have seen in a long time. The Great Attractor is a supercluster of 100,000 galaxies, 250 million light years from our solar system. It is the grand central sun of a much larger group of galaxies, and it is a point that we are all being pulled towards in the universe. In astrology, the Great Attractor represents the key to the mystery of the universe. It's a very intense point that has mystical and metaphysical properties, And when there are transits, such as this one, aligning with it, it opens up these portals. It opens up these moments, these access moments where we tap into spiritual awakening, where we can have spiritual awakenings and where divine harmony and the fulfillment of our spiritual destiny exists. This is a very, very activated point. Not to mention the other thing that I wanted to talk about was Venus on the galactic center. Now, the galactic center is the black hole at the center of our Milky Way galaxy. It's at 27 degrees of Sag in tropical astrology. Venus, the planet of love and beauty and relationships, she guides us into relationships. This is talking about like galactic connections, cosmic connections between us and others, and the understanding of karmic stories, soul contracts. I just did an Atlantean astrology reading earlier today, and that's what we talk about in that type of reading, that there are all of the relationships in our lives have taught us something really special and very unique to ourselves, to our chart. Part of our relationships can teach us a lot about our own chart and how we have grown and evolved in our life. And so when you learn about these karmic connections or / soul contracts, you understand so much more about yourself, and you can let go of any attachment. You can let yourself find like peace within your story of your chart. And you can really see from a much broader perspective how you experience your chart in real life, in relationships. Yes, my Venus. Oh, my Venus. Exactly. So the galactic center, according to the Pleiades, is the 9th dimension of the Earth sort of realm. And to them, it's the Akashic of our solar system, where we tap into the history of our planet, the history of all the planets in our solar system, our story. It's our story. It's our information. Whereas the Great Attractor is the story of the whole universe, whereas the Orion Stargate is the connection to the story of the beginning of the universe, right? The beginning story, right? The Genesis that, is talked about in the Bible, which is literally talking about the creation of the universe. What the heck? Like, this is just me talking about this and looking at this. My brain is like, this is too much. It's so much. Like, the best way we can kind of move through this energy is just to be open and like, let whatever kind of wisdom is supposed to come through. And it will come through your most powerful intuitive sense, whether that's listening or feeling or sensing or seeing, whether you're a seer or some other kind of like clairvoyant, clairsentient, clairaudient, like all that stuff, clairgustance, like what is your strongest sense? It'll come because right now Mercury is all about communication, which means what? That these star beings are going to communicate with us. They're going to be communicating with us. And if you have any markings in Sagittarius or Gemini, this is going to be really, really strong for you, for everybody. But Sag and Gemini will have really, really, really strong experiences. Anything that's trining these energies are going to be strong experiences as well, or sextiles, and anything that is squaring them, which would be anything in Virgo or Pisces, might experience a lot like tension, like nervous tension and stress, right? The other thing that I want to mention is that the Sagittarius degrees are also within Ophiuchus, and Ophiuchus is known as the 13th sign, which is also another gateway to the occult, to the mysteries of the universe. So this is not mundane at all. Like, this full moon is anything but mundane. This full moon is fucking cosmic, galactic. And if you're not tuned into it, like, no big deal. But if you are tuned into it, like if you're not tuned in, you might just experience like another powerful full moon. But if you are tuned in, right? If you are like, if you've got your little third eye open, I'm just kidding. If you're tuned in, if you understand, if you work with these symbols, energies, information, and you know that you are one of these star seeds, I mean, pay attention because a lot is going to come through. A lot will come through. And this will be information that is received in the best way that you yourself individually can receive it. So don't expect things to come in a certain way. Just allow them to come through. But this is insane. Like, this is, whoa. Like, it takes it to a whole nother level. This, like, I don't think I've seen this many powerful activations. And we just talked about 3 things, right? Like, this was only 3 things that we talked about. But the crazy thing is that the moon and Mars are exactly on Rigel. Venus is exactly on the galactic center. And the sun is just 2 degrees away from the great attractor, but also still within Ophiuchus, which is the occult, the mystery, the Kundalini activation, the spiritual awakening, the creatrix, the high priestess, the shaman. I mean, like, this is beyond. This would be a great week to actually, speaking of, it is so funny. I always end up being so right on without even realizing it. Like, I ran my sale and all of the readings, most people signed up for readings this week, which is a crazy schedule for me, but this is the week to do them, right? Like, this is the week to do an Akashic record reading. This is the week to do an astrology reading, because the ability to receive information directly from these stargates is there. It's almost like the door is open. And so are you going to take advantage, or are you going to let the door, you're going to just pass by and not even pay attention or not even connect? That is the power of this. So we are now going to transition. We're going to add more meaning to this, as if there's more possible information. There is. We're going to talk about the Sabian symbol, the Chandra symbol, and the gene key. And I'm just going to mention the human design gate and do the human design reading tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, right? Strap on your seatbelts. We're going for a ride. This Pisces doesn't need more stress. But the challenge, right? The square is challenging you to grow and evolve. Tension is different than stress. Pressure is different than stress. All those things can cause stress, but they don't necessarily have to. They just push you or nudge you to take action, to resolve something, to open up. It's actually really, really powerful. All right, here we go. Starting with the Sabian symbol for 16 degrees of Gemini. Measuring his son's height against a wall, a stern father admonishes the boy to stand up straight. Years later, the child, now much older, is being measured once more. This is about having enough faith in oneself to develop one's innate faculties versus trying to conform to other people's expectations. These people are very aware of being judged by others, especially when they fail to measure up. Issues of measurement and calibration. This is about living up to one's early promise, prodigies with unusual talents. This is about growing out of developmental problems, correcting imbalances in growth versus becoming increasingly eccentric and unbalanced. This is about being able to connect with a parent and partake of their wisdom versus feeling that one must fight one's parents in order to develop one's potentials. This is about getting out from under a repressive regime. Whoa. Referring back to a seed vision of one's highest potentials versus genetic mechanisms that bring new faculties into play at the appropriate time. This is about realizing one's potential. Wow. Exactly, Misty. Diamonds are created with great measure. This is about realizing one's potential. Like, whoa, that's huge. Let's look at the Chandra symbol. And the Chandra symbols are really beautiful because they give us a different perspective, a very beautiful, poetic perspective. The Chandra symbol for 16 degrees of Gemini is a magic coin that has only one side. Bland realism as complete cover-up, masquerading in whichever style and form disarms and deflects and confuses and confounds. Preferring to portray yourself as plain, straightforward, and as basic as can be. The ruse is that if you consistently blow yourself up to be a commonsensical character, people shall look at you lightly, no probing. This frees up the subconscious mind to frolic impetuously, almost randomly. And if anybody ever inquired into the motivating spark behind the subconscious play and abandon, you would find a future soul discovering ways to entertain itself and keep it going, but exceedingly aware of the tides of events, awaiting for the first cue to explode the personality and get on with the future for real. Whoa, that was like very kind of cryptic. Let me read it again. A magic coin that has only one side. Bland realism as complete cover-up, masquerading in whichever style and form disarms and deflects and confuses and confounds. Preferring to portray yourself as plain, straightforward, and as basic as can be. The ruse is that if you consistently blow yourself up to be a commonsensical character, people shall look at you lightly, no probing. This frees up the subconscious mind to frolic impetuously, almost randomly, as if anybody ever inquired into the motivating spark behind the subconscious play and abandon. You would find a future soul discovering ways to entertain itself and keep it going, but exceedingly aware of the tides of events, awaiting the first cue to explode the personality and get on with the future for real. Okay, I'm going to leave that one up to each and every one of us to try to interpret what the hell that means to you. But very Gemini indeed. Very Gemini indeed. Okay, are you ready for this gene key? Guess what? My sun is on the 35th gene key. My evolution sphere, my personality Earth, is on the 5th gene key. Right now, the sun is on the 5th gene key and the moon is on the 35th. These are programming partners. The 5th and the 35th are very powerful gene keys. And the moon right now, which is the one that we're going to focus on, is the moon, is the 35th gene key, which is called referred to as none other than wormholes and miracles. The 35th gene key moves from the shadow of hunger to the gift of adventure to the city of boundlessness, a back door into bliss. If you read every one of the 64 gene keys, you will gradually begin to realize that written into the human structure, into the structure of human DNA, is a great evolutionary plan in which humanity will eventually transcend the human form itself. All individuals, families, racial groups, and gene pools are caught up within this master plan, which appears to have its own hidden timing. Yet within the master genetic plan, the 35th gene key stands out as an anomaly, as though the gods who designed the machine put in a hidden shortcut through which any individual could bypass the laws of timing. Can someone moderate, please? The laws of timing, just block or just completely delete. The laws of timing built into the machine itself. This is precisely what the 35th gene key is. It is a hidden wormhole that leads to a vast realm beyond our comprehension. It leads right to the heart, right to the heart of the 35th city, the city of boundlessness. The interesting thing about the 35th gene key is that it breaks all genetic laws. It allows human beings to take charge of their own evolution and outwit the global genetic program. Just as the 35th gift breaks laws, so does the 35th city. It invites human beings. This is my son. This is my life's work, okay? For those of you that want to know a little more about Jai. Just as the 35th gift breaks laws, so does the 35th city. It invites human beings to expand their consciousness so far that they leave this fear of evolution altogether. As we saw, the 35th gift still contains traces of fear, since fear is what gives the edge to the adventure of life. At the level of the 35th city, the fear is gone because you are gone. The adventure is over. Boundlessness is consciousness. There is nothing further one can say about this 35th city. However, one can say things about the 35th city from within the Maya of the mind. The 35th city of boundlessness has great pulling power, even as a concept. If you can entertain the concept of boundlessness in your daily life, you are automatically drawing yourself away from the lower frequencies. Very few human beings can handle the concept of boundlessness because it has a diffusing effect on the mind, which is what Gemini loves to hear, right? It invites you to move out of your mind and into your heart. As a mental projector, this is hard to hear. It is really the heart that knows no bounds, which is why consciousness is the same word as love. Along with its polarity, the 5th city of timelessness, the 35th city forms the arc of the infinite. Dude, this is so this moon. There are no boundaries to life, and there can be no beginning and no end. Even though through the 64 gene keys, we see that human evolution will one day come to an end, it is nonetheless progress to another form, and then another, and another. Within our modern scientific worldview, astrophysicists tell us that we can measure the size of the universe and that it has a finite age. Through the 35th gift and its city, sitting there in your DNA, we know that these are half-truths because somehow implanted deep within us lies the concept of infinity. No mind will ever solve the mysteries of the universe, of time and space, because mind is only a tiny facet of those mysteries. The heart, or what some people call the heart mind, is the only aspect within a human being that can unlock the mystery of boundlessness. So what can the 35th city tell us? It can tell us only one thing. that pure unconditional love can break all the laws of the cosmos. Whenever you taste even a fraction of this kind of love, anything becomes possible. Because we inhabit a form and live in a world where magic seems impossible, more and more human beings are turned away from the truth that anything in the universe is possible. When the city of boundlessness enters the world, it allows consciousness to penetrate right into the heart of matter, which bends the laws of matter. Such acidic being represents a shortcut through evolution itself, and many people can experience huge awakenings and miracles around such a being. As the single heart of the ring of miracles, it's so epic, the 35th city brings the miraculous into the world. It opens up all kinds of possibilities. Dude, I love this. This is like music to my heart. It opens up all kinds of possibilities to those who allow their minds to become like a child's. To the child, anything seems possible. This is the state of boundlessness. To activate such streams of miracles, you have to break free from the beliefs and limitations imposed by your mind, by the world, and those around you. The 35th city dispenses with all boundaries and limitations imposed by the mind. Throughout history, men have flown, ascended, and dematerialized before people's eyes. At the level of the 35th city, anything is possible. Of all the 64 cities, perhaps with the exception of the 60th city, this 35th city has but one purpose: to break the laws of form and to manifest miracles so that people can expand their awareness and open their hearts to a greater mode of being. It is because of the 35th city that the traditional meaning of the word city as a spiritual power has come into the world. In Eastern tradition, different pantheons and systems number different cities. The cities are generally seen as distractions along the path of liberation. But in the case of the 35th city, they are a natural manifestation of liberation itself, arising out of the state rather than preceding it. Simply to be in the presence of a true miracle is to open your eyes to a whole new horizon. It can change your life and open your heart in a single mind-bending, reality-shattering experience. In this respect, the 35th city also finds, of course, a strong connection with the 22nd city of grace, since it is grace that decides when, where, and to whom a miracle will occur. The very existence of the 35th gift and its city is a testament to the power of grace. Hello, Channel for Grace, right? Where do all these names come from? I don't know. We can draw great comfort from the fact that deep within the DNA of each and every one of us, the 35th city lives as a constant reminder of the infinite possibilities of a life lived in the name of love. Damn. Oh my God, I'm getting emotional. I hadn't read that in a while. That is my life's work sphere. This is where my sun is, which is in Gemini. At my exact Gemini position of the sun is at 13 degrees. But the cities or the gene keys take up a few degrees. So, holy shit. That is powerful, you guys. that is freaking powerful. So, like, oh my God, my brain. The human design gate and center, where this gate is at. It's obviously the same number. So it's the 35th gene key. And in human design, it's called the 35th gate. Oh, thank you, Kim. So it's the 35th gene key in the gene keys, and it's the 35th gate in human design. And I'm only going to mention the human design gate and center because I'm going to do an entire broadcast on it tomorrow, sometime during the day, before we have our Moon Goddess training session, and talk about specifically, just in human design terms, what this moon means. However, it's the 35th gate, which is found in the throat center, right? Gemini has huge connections to the throat center, and it is called the hungry heart. The hungry heart. So we'll talk about that tomorrow in the video. So make sure that if you're not subscribed, that you're subscribed, that you got the notification bell on so you get the notification of when I do go live. I will be going live tomorrow sometime during the day, not in the evening because I am busy with the Moon Goddess Training Level 3 tomorrow evening, but I want to get that broadcast in before we have our ceremony on Wednesday, a full moon ceremony. So, where is this moon happening in your chart based off of your sun, moon, Venus, and rising? Let's take a look. So we will start. And if you have this energy in your chart, let me know so that I can see in the chat who this is activating. Aries, sun, moon, Venus, and rising. You guys are having a third house transit. The third house is the house of communication. So you'll notice this moon affecting the way that you communicate, how you speak your truth, what you say, and to whom you feel comfortable speaking it to. Taurus, sun, moon, Venus, and rising. You guys are having a second house transit. This moon is going to help you look at the ways that you communicate your groundedness, the way that you communicate how much you value yourself when you speak, when you share, when you express yourself. Are you valuing yourself? This moon will bring it up. Gemini, sun, moon, Venus, and rising, you guys are having a first house transit. This is about you and your identity. How do you define yourself? These are the things that are going to show up. The themes that are going to show up is how are you yourself embodying and channeling this energy. Cancer, sun, moon, Venus, and rising. You are having a 12th house transit. This full moon is going to be in the place of spirituality. Hello, Anslin. Welcome in. Spiritual experience, spiritual activation, your connection to God, the divine, the infinite, all of that. That is what this moon is going to activate for you. It's going to be a spiritual experience. Leo, sun, moon, Venus, and rising. You guys are having an 11th house transit. So this moon is going to activate for you your network of magic, your web of the divine. Hello, Kelly. Welcome in. Your ability to expand and share your wisdom through the links, through the chained links that carry your message from person to person without you even noticing. Is everybody that you affect, both directly and indirectly. Your network of people will be affected by everything that you do yourself. So what you say, how you say it, what you're saying, what's the content, right, of what you're speaking. All of these things will affect your entire network. So remember that it's not just you, it's you and everything that you affect. Virgo, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising. 10th house. This moon is activating, highlighting, shining a light on your house of career, life path, and showing up for the world. Are you speaking your truth in this area of your life? Are you saying the things that are important for you, for others to see? Because this is where you're in the public eye. You are very much being watched in this way, and you influence others from this place. So what are you saying? How are you saying it? Is it your truth? You have to speak your truth. That's going to align you better to your destiny path. Libra, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising, 9th house of integration, evolution, and expansion. So this moon is asking you to go beyond, right? As I look at the number, there's 33 in the chat, Libra, Ascended Masters. As you look forward in your life, there are certain things that will take you beyond what you have ever imagined, right? This is the place of miracles. You have to believe in miracles. You can't just believe in miracles. You have to rely on them. Yogi Bhajan used to say that. I think it was Yogi Bhajan. I don't believe in miracles. I rely on them. That's like the story of my life, literally. I really feel that, especially with the 35th gene key as my life's work. I 100% don't just believe in miracles. I rely on them. Miracles are an everyday thing for me. And it's not even about miracles. It's about your perception of life. Everything is a miracle if you really look at it the right way from this higher perspective, right? So Libra, you need to rely on the miracles of every single moment in your life and this moon will invite you to go beyond your comfort, go beyond the edge and explore a new everything. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising, 8th house, death, change, and transformation. Get ready to go through a mini tower moment, or maybe not so mini, but something about you will transform, will change. Something will happen, something will transpire that will change you. You need to be okay with this change. You need to be okay with releasing and letting go. You cannot avoid it. You cannot stop it. The more that you can surrender to the change, the more that you are going to feel that this moon will be benefiting you instead of hurting you or bringing you down, right? It's when we surrender to the change and we give in to it that we see the magic and the miracle of it in our life. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising, 7th house, partnerships, relationships in general, intimate, marriage, all that stuff. But it doesn't have to be intimate. This can also be partnerships within business. So what does this mean? This moon is inviting you to speak your truth within your relationships, inviting you to understand your relationships from a deeper level. And when you do, when you open yourself up to receive the wisdom will help you to understand every aspect of your relationship from the perspective that helps you to let go of attachment, let go of the need to be in control, let go of the codependent need, right? The need to be attached to something or someone, an idea or an actual person. This moon will invite you to let go. Remember, this moon is opposing you. It's opposing your first house. So it's in the other that you see the mirror of who you are. So when you communicate, that's what you're going to get back. What you say will be said back. What you give will come right back. This is a mirror. So you have to embody that which you want to see in the other, because it's going to get mirrored right back to you. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, 6th house. Be present, be present, be present, be present. Live in the moment as much as you can. Live in the moment as much as you can. The only one that gets a little green card here is if you're an emotional authority. If you have emotional authority in human design, you don't make decisions in the moment, but you can still be present. Everybody can still be present and feel what's happening in the moment. Don't jump ahead into the future. Don't go back into the past. Because if you do, in your mind, you're going to miss what's coming through right now. The visions, the dreams, the messages will be in the moment. The miracles will be in the moment. And if you're too far ahead or too far back, you will miss the magic. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, 5th house. Creativity, passion, expression, aren't we all? Expression of your gifts. Being yourself to a level of like naturalness, where everything that you do is your creativity. Everything that you express is your creativity. Living life with passion is what this moon is inviting you to do. And last but not least, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. 4th house of the home and family. So this moon will bring in the aspect of communication and connecting with others through the realm of home and family. And this can be with actual family members or with people that are family to you. Maybe they're not blood related, but they are family to you. So that's where the magic will be found, is being in the moment, connecting with those you love, and holding the frequency of that in your home. All right, you guys. And that concludes our astrology Gemini full moon broadcast. I'm so excited for this freaking full moon. I can already feel it. And the way that I'm experiencing this is right now I'm feeling kind of out of it. So it's normal. Just know that it's normal to feel a little bit like out there. These stargates are no joke. They're all taking us to the cosmic realm. Like everything, all these things are inviting us to go into the stars. To go into the stars, to land among the stars, to go beyond what you can ever imagine. And that's very out there. So do something to help ground you, but also allow yourself to navigate this magical realm. And I hope that you do experience a beautiful miracle in your life this week. I'll see you tomorrow for our human design reading sometime during the day before 5 p.m. Pacific. And then I'll be back on Wednesday for our full moon ceremony. Satnam.